Hey everybody, welcome back to HitPoint, a JRPG news show, an anime news show, a niche news show, anything really that Baku and I care about, we'll be talking about today. And we've got a lot of stuff going on today. Baku, how are you doing today?
Oh man, what a long weekend, but I'm just glad that we got to do this because man, this is sort of like Zen time hanging
Yeah.
out with you all. So yeah, just okay. How's your weekend?
Well, my weekend's been pretty okay so far. Been working on trying to get a couple videos ready to release. I'm hoping next week, but I've also got a bunch of crazy work still going on next week, so I'm hoping to figure out a time to actually do everything I want to do. But hey, today we get to talk about news, rumors, and other stuff. We'll preview trailers, we'll answer questions and comments from super chats at the end of the episode. And just for anybody who's curious, we do normally stream on Sundays at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern time, though we did push it back about an hour today just so I could heat a fine sushi dinner tonight, and it was very tasty. So yeah, it's been great. So Baku, what have you been streaming lately? Are you streaming? Do you stream?
Do I stream? I've been streaming Persona 4 Golden lately. I just finished up Xenoblade Chronicles and also the Future Connected chapter. Great game. And we'll be talking about some Xenoblade Chronicles 3 stuff later. But yeah, Persona 4 Golden just never got around to playing it, but now I am, and boy, this game is long. I
It
was like,
is.
oh man, I forgot how tough Persona or like SMT games are, and I'm just like almost close to dying. It's like, man, okay, I gotta like turn on my JRPG like gamer like
I know.
level power aura back on
You gotta
to
like lean
um
forward a little bit.
yep, yep. I've been too relaxed, man. Game's been too easy lately, and like, all right, I gotta switch it up. Yeah, but it's been a great experience. Love it a lot more than P3. I stream over at twitch.tv/Bakusan JRPG, link down below. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and sometimes Sunday after the show. But I doubt I'll be streaming today. How about you, Derek? What are you doing?
Well, I just been playing through a little bit of Chrono Cross lately, and we actually
That's a
finished
little
up.
bit.
We've actually just finished it up earlier this week, and I actually on Wednesday went in for some extra endings, some new game plus shenanigans, and had a little bit of fun over there. And we normally play over on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, but I ended up taking Friday off this week in order to help continue to work on cranking out a couple of those videos that I alluded to before. But soon we'll be taking on Golden Sun: The Lost Age. So if you're interested, make sure you get followed over there at twitch.tv/superdarkrpgs. Links in the description down below.
You promised us videos, Derek. You promised us videos.
I'm working on it, man. It's it's surprisingly hard to find time sometimes.
Yep.
But yeah. So, anyways, hey, Baku, what would you say is this week's top headline?
Man, that Xenoblade that we were just talking about, that next game sure does look really good. We'll be diving into that and some more. So, hopefully you guys are ready for just a lot of news. We had that Nintendo Direct, and let's just talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll get to there in just a minute or two, but first we got to take a look at some of the comments that we got from last week's podcast. So,
Yes.
let's start with this one here from Philip Welsh, who says, "I was so hyped after Final Fantasy Square Enix stream that I pre-ordered that Buster Sword clock, starting to feel like I didn't hype responsibly because it's like $237 after shipping and tax. But it's gonna be awesome."
Oh, it's gonna be awesome.
Oh man.
We got you, man.
Oh man.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's
Go
yeah.
ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I feel like that's a very special kind of clock because it's gonna tell you when it's Buster Sword time.
Listen, once you get that clock, come back and let us know how that is, because we really got to know what a 250, well, close to $250 clock sounds like or acts like. We need details.
Okay,
We need details.
You know what though? There is legitimately some very expensive clocks that
I'm sure there
I
are.
really want. I mean, at a certain point, I think you call them a timepiece, right? But but I think that in my case, there's actually an interesting clock that I really want to get. It's called like a Nixie tube clock.
What
Um,
is that?
Here, I'll see if I can show you a picture of a Nixie tube because these things are super cool, and
Hmm.
there are some that I want that are like a few $100s. So here, I'll
Oh,
just share my screen here. This is what a
oh
Nixie tube clock
wow.
looks like. It's like the most steampunk way of telling you what time it is, and I love it. So that's what I want, but it's not something that
Mm.
I will ever afford. But I want them.
Mm.
So for all of
Well,
y'all with some, cash flow, they're called Nixie tube clocks,
mhm.
Nixie space tube, and they are so cool. Yeah, get one for
Yeah.
yourself. Live it up.
Those are the people with like the terror statue money. That's those are the people. That's the kind of clock
I
that
know.
they would use, right? Ah,
But they do make some
anyways.
really cool like Square Enix clocks and stuff and watches.
Hmm.
Like the various Final Fantasy watches that they've put out are super, super crazy nice.
I strong considered getting the Final Fantasy 14 Zodiac watch from I think Citizen.
Mm-hmm.
They had like a collaboration. It was only like 300-ish dollars, which yes, I know it's expensive, but for like a really nice timepiece, like $300 is like kind of nothing in like that world. Like
Yeah,
of people, those are the people with like the FU money, right? It's like $1,000 at a time for like,
I know.
these like
The
watches. Easy.
mhm.
Yeah, and they'll have like 50 of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I strong consider it, but then I didn't do it because I don't even play FF14. What am I what am I doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but it looks really cool. Okay. Next we got a comment from just some JoJo. So I'm gonna read you the summarized version because you guys can see the full version from the last video, but
Sure.
he goes, they go. Man, Tactics Ogre Reborn would be really nice. I never got to play the original, and I have had some real bad luck with Sony handhelds. So getting to play the remake remaster of the original on a console I have that actually works would be amazing. And I agree with you. It's an amazing game, and hopefully once it comes out, you will also agree that it is an amazing adventure. So, cheers to you.
All right. We got one other from here, person named Chapter Black, who says, I was really interested in Demon School with a clear persona influence, but to also be inspired by Dario Argento and Mario Bava films piques my interest. I don't think a game like a game can get any better from my niche, or for my niche rather,
Mhm.
than somehow combining Persona and Yu Yu Hakusho and Junji Ito and Dario Argento. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's crazy.
super cool. It looks really nice. I'm definitely
Right?
gonna keep my eye on that one.
Yes. Yeah. So, it's and I read through all the comments. It seems like that was like the game that you guys were super interested in. So,
That's
hey,
the sleeper
listen,
hit, huh? Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. We're definitely gonna keep on, covering like major AAA Final Fantasy. But you know what? We're also gonna keep you informed with like all the indie games that may not get as much attention. So hopefully you guys will keep growing that game log because boy, if our backlog grows, so will yours.
Oh my god, it's so big. The make it
I
stop.
know.
Uh,
I recently that picture that I shared with you. You know what the
yeah.
caption was on Twitter? It was, "Oh, look, I just finished one game, and boy, I don't know what I would do if my backlog were to grow." And then it's like a picture of like 6 games that I bought. It's like I
I
finished one
know.
game, and here are 6 more. Yeah, that backlog is never.
I feel like what I have is not so much a shelf full of games, it's a shelf full of aspirations. These are the things I aspire to do before I die.
Look at here are my retirement. This is what my retirement looks like. 30 years from now,
Yeah,
when
that's
when
that's
I finally.
and it's gonna be my retirement, and like that's what I'm gonna be doing. Not that's what's
Mhm.
going to be funding it. I'm gonna be broke, but I'm gonna be like
Yeah, I'm gonna be
I'm
broke.
I'm gonna be I'm going to be living in an abandoned house somewhere, leeching electricity off of a street light over freaking like extension cord. And I'm just going to be in a corner just waiting out the rest of my life playing video games on PS3 and a broken tube TV.
I mean, if you see an 80-year-old dumpster diving for breakfast, that's me.
I mean, let's be real. Retirement? No, I don't know about that.
Yeah,
that's a luxury.
It's my will to live. Like, I just want to live another day to play a little bit more JRPG.
I just got to see how the story with Estelle and Joshua ends.
Need to see what FF18 looks like.
Exactly.
All right. So the next one we got. So we talked about the FF7 remake, the third game is potentially something, and we sent a side quest asking you guys what you think that name will be. So here is a short list of all the words that I saw. Okay, you guys ready for this? Re-rising, revolution, refactoring, rename, regress, repeat, retire, regret, recapitalize, resolve, requiem, re-image, retcon. I like that one. Reverence, reveal, reverso, remember, regurgitate. I saw 2 of those. That's a lot of vocabularies you guys got there.
Yeah.
Just throw a dictionary in there, why don't you? But by far the most popular was revengeance. It's revenge and vengeance. Okay.
It's also the name of the Metal Gear Solid Rising subtitle. So
is it really?
Metal Gear Solid Rising Revengeance. That's also part of it. So yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah,
just memeing it up with the Kojima crowd. Kojima and Nomura had a baby, and it was Final Fantasy VII Revengeance.
Jesus. Yeah, it would be the most convoluted plot you'll ever see, and it's going to be 50% movies and 50% gameplay, maybe,
and 100% belts. Now, we do have a voicemail line. If you'd like to leave us a voicemail, you may do so at 785-337-3805. Otherwise, you can also just shoot us a voice file to hitpoint@superdarkrpgs.com, and we'll play it on the air. Otherwise, we will also be responding to comments via the super chats here within YouTube. So if you have a burning question that can't wait until next time, throw it out that way.
Yes. We respond very quickly. So super chat, within the next 3 hours, we'll get back to you. I didn't think about it. Like, no, 1 hour is too short. 2 hours, 3 hours. Been 3 hours. That's our turnaround time.
I'd say it's probably within 2 hours. We have a 2-hour SLA on
SLA. Yes, that. Oh boy. Yes. Okay. So yeah, throw that way. Okay, so let's talk about some fun news. Let's start low intensity news. Let's talk about some updates
all right.
to past releases. Okay,
a little low intensity workout to get us stretched out.
Just little
warm up,
little bits of news. Yeah, little warm up news here. Okay, Pokemon Legends Arceus is having a distribution event for a free shiny Baneful Fox mask. The distribution event will run from June 22nd, 2022, all the way to June 1st, 2023. So, like, you have a year to claim this mask through mystery gift. So, go get it.
Oh,
okay. It's free.
This is a mask that you get in game, not like a Yeah.
It's a mask you get in game. Yes. Okay.
Okay. Cool. Free DLC, basically.
Most low intensity news ever, but like, it's good to know. It's free stuff. Go get it.
Yeah. It's basically free DLC for a year, I guess. They just don't call it DLC, but that's what it is.
Yeah. I'm actually waiting for more like gifts because I haven't played a lot of like recent Pokemon games, but as far as like Arceus is concerned, like they haven't really done a lot of like mystery gifts, and like usually they'll throw in like special Pokemons or new stuff. So I'm actually waiting for them to do more once that new like Violet or Scarlet title comes out in November. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll keep you updated if anything substantial happens. But come on, Nintendo, Like, throw us the bone. Well, not literally, but like give us something a little better than a freaking mask. Like, what are you doing, Nintendo?
I mean, who knows? Maybe the mask is cool in the game.
I
Is
got
it?
it, and it does look, it looks all right,
Do,
but
do
just
you
come on.
do you wear it
Come
in game?
on.
Like what is
I did. I
what's the
did.
use?
It's just a cosmetic item.
It's a
Just
you just
one
oh
freaking cosmetic item. Just one little thing.
is
Just, come on, Nintendo.
okay. Okay. Well, um yeah. Moving on to some upcoming releases that are going to be coming out this week. We've got Disgaea
Yep.
6 Complete, the port, that is.
Mhm.
So this complete version will include all the previously released characters and cosmetics DLCs, plus some new colored DLCs as well. And that's
Mhm.
coming out on the 28th of this month. So it's going to be coming to PS4, PS5, and to Steam. So be sure to keep an eye out for that one.
Yeah, and we got two other ones coming for June 30th. One is Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. Sunbreak is, of course, the much anticipated expansion to Monster Hunter Rise that will feature new combat mechanics, hunting locales, and the far-off land of El Gado. It will be released on Switch and PC via Steam. Last but not least, we have Ground Divers, a Dig Dug style excavation action puzzle game. Wow, that is a mouthful. From Arc System Works. That is also June 30th, and that's coming to the Switch only via the eShop. So definitely keep an eye on these games because they're coming out next week.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yes.
So
Okay, that was quick.
yeah, that went super quick. Some of these we've got a lot of news to talk over, and I'm actually really looking forward to some of the indies that we're going to talk about. But before we get to indies, we have sort of an update to the Master System 2 mini system that they've been talking about putting out here. Sega has been talking about that as.
Yeah.
So it's not just a game really, but they've revealed 11 more games that are coming out for the Sega Mega Drive Mini 2 in a pretty recent broadcast here. So they say that in all there will be over 50 Mega Drive and Mega CD games, or Sega Genesis and Sega CD games, as it's known in the US. So additionally, Sega just revealed the USB Cyberstick, which is kind of like a weird kind of it's not like a fight stick per se, but it's kind of like it in a way. It's a weird thing. You can Google it. But anyways, it's based on the controller from Sharp with the same name from the 90s. And unlike the Mega CD attachment, this is actually going to work. So you can actually plug it into your Mega Drive Mini and Mega CD, and it will actually do stuff. So that's cool. It's functional and compatible with a bunch of the games. So now everything that's been announced so far will be available on October 27th in Japan. No international version has been announced so far, but it's I'd say pretty dang likely, though what the games are is still way up in the air. And I don't even think we got the Cyberstick in the US. Did we?
Did we not?
I looked it up.
Sega kid growing up, so
I looked it up, and it's weird. Here, I'll pull up the picture of this Cyberstick so you guys can kind of get a view of it. Gotta wait for
By the
my.
way, let me ask chat real quick. Am I too quiet? Can you guys hear me? Okay, just want to double check. We can probably increase the volume a little bit if needed. Just let me know.
Okay, I mean,
how's Derek and my volume? Let's ask that.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead, man.
All right. So here's the Cyberstick that I was talking about. So you can see it here, and I don't know if they have other pictures of it, but the Cyberstick is.
Scroll down.
Keep scrolling further down.
Down. Yep.
There it is.
There we go. Yeah, that's probably the clearest picture you're gonna get.
So this is the Cyberstick. I don't know if we actually got it here in the West, but that is it's weird. It's got this like weird throttle thing on the left, and it's got a joystick on the right, like for like a flight stick basically. And in the center, you got your other combo or your A, B, C buttons and some other, I'm guessing, rapid fire stuff. I've never touched this.
Hmm.
I had the 6 button and the 3 button like mega stick. I don't remember what it's called exactly, but the fight stick that came out here in the West. This
Mm.
thing is weird, but
Yeah,
kind of
and
exciting.
it's
But
expensive.
yeah,
Hey, they're saying I'm like really quiet. Is there some way you can bring me up a little bit on your end?
I can probably turn myself down a little bit, but I'll do
I
this. I'll
mean,
turn
you
you up.
sound fine to me. That's the thing.
Okay, here, I'll turn you up a
Yeah.
little bit. But
Okay.
you are now at maximum volume.
How about now? Am I is that better? Yes? No? Okay. If not, I can still turn myself up a little bit. Okay.
Okay, and I'll turn myself down just a tad as well, just to make sure. Thank you for the feedback, everybody.
Yeah, thank you guys. I need a yeah, it's Derek's out of 5. Baku's a 2.5. Listen, there's nothing I can do to fix my looks, man. I know Derek's a 5 out of 5, and I'm only a mere 2.5, but you don't have to say it like that.
That's
Just
rude.
God,
Chat,
rude.
jeez.
Yeah, come on. Like fluffy dog. Just rude. I'm just kidding. All right. No, but thank you so much for letting us know. All right, let's talk about the next thing, and then let's see if that sound volume has gotten a little better. Uh, let's talk about Pocket Mirror Goldener Triumph. Triumph? It's just very strange. Like it's a trum. I think it's pronounced trum. It's like a type of fern. I don't know. I try to look it up. Like but anyways, it's a very strange name, but take a look at this. So this is the remastered version of the 2016 mystery horror RPG Pocket Mirror. The GoldenerTraum version is made with the newest version of the RPG Maker, and it will include redone visuals, a new ending, new art style, and also other new features and contents that, quite frankly, is just too long of a list that we're just not going to get into. The game takes place in a mysterious world where the player has to guide the main character, Gloria, in her journey to find her true identity. So do you want to take a look at that game really quickly?
Sure. Let me pull that up. The pixel art on this looks pretty nice.
Yeah. It's a nice game.
Okay, it's not. I was like, uh oh, is my audio glitching? No, it's
No, it's not.
okay.
This is one of those like I don't know. This is one of those like horror puzzle kind of game that was really popular back in like I want to say like mid 2000s to like mid
Hmm.
2010s. Like they
Yeah.
were super popular, and there were a couple of like basic cult classics. Like it was around that time. Remember we talked about like Corpse Party and what have you. So like it is one of those kind of game. But this one has a little bit more of a almost like an Alice in Wonderland sort of feel to it. So definitely a different kind of look and feel. So, but this one is completely redone. So hopefully, it will fit the modern taste, if you will.
I think that it
But
definitely
yes,
looks really nice in like comparison to your typical like I mean, if it started off as like an RPG Maker game, it definitely looks like it no longer fits that. Like you can always tell whenever they have like the character sprites that are like exactly 2 squares tall. you know, like
right,
and
right,
they never shall extend beyond the extents of those 2 squares. It's like
exactly.
that's how you can tell 100%. It's like, yeah, that at least started as RPG Maker. This looks a bit more custom than that, and I appreciate the way that
Yeah.
looks.
I think typically what they do is like you'll get a person with this great idea. They'll make like an RPG Maker game, and then they'll throw it out there, and then they'll hit like massive success, and then finally they'll take that and make it into a product. That's like custom because it's tested now, right? Like people have
Yeah,
played it, they liked it, right? So it's confirmed that this is now a good investment to
exactly.
make something a little bit more out of. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. All right, we got a couple more indies. Yo, what you got for us, Derek?
So we have Arcadian Atlas, which is from developer Twin Otter Studios and published by Serenity Forge. This is an indie tactical RPG that draws heavy inspiration from Final Fantasy Tactics and Tactics Ogre. And I think that a lot of you guys who are into strategy RPGs are going to find this one very interesting. It's set in Arcadia.
It looks pretty good.
Players will build an elite party of adventurers from more than 12 custom classes, each of which will have unique skills and equipment and engage in turn-based battles to determine the fate of both the kingdom and its people. And did I mention that it actually looks like really pretty?
It looks really good.
Let's show this off a little bit here.
Yeah, absolutely.
There we go. Look at that.
I know. The character art looks really good too. Like the what is
the portraits?
The portrait art looks pretty good too. Yeah.
The land that never forgets. A kingdom tearing itself apart. Too real. Oh man, doesn't that look rad? It kind of reminds me of the art of Breath of Fire 3. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I appreciate the a little blood splat.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, don't get gory, but I mean, it's war. I mean, what are you expecting?
Yeah. Customize your army with 12 classes and 25 skill trees.
All 25 of them. This is considered a class right there.
Yeah, this game looks freaking phenomenal. Like
I think that's where the Final Fantasy Tactics inspiration, like that world map right there. Just now.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Arcadian Atlas.
It looks good.
It really does.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep an eye on that, even though like I know everybody already knows tactical and strategy RPGs are extremely daunting to me. Especially because I feel like they always introduced a lot of like political intrigue and stuff that's like, am I going to be able to keep up with it? I don't know. I hope they spoon feed it to me very slowly and be like, all right, this is who a chancellor is. This is what their job is. This is why it's important that, you know, that they don't be evil. Okay, now go. Like, walk me through this step by step. No,
help me understand what this word even means. Like, let's start with that. Yeah.
Too often I like start. I'm like reading in, and then be like, okay, and then at a certain point, my eyes just glaze over. I'm lost. But okay, like kill the people. I get it. Do the thing.
No, you know what? Like some of these stories, right? So because these games are so long, like each stage is like, you know, a good amount of time.
Oh yeah,
like
the battles,
the tactics,
the scenarios.
So the story happens between each of the battles. So what happened before? I've already forgotten by the end of the battle. I'm like, so what? Why are we here again? Like I just fought this extremely long battle. We won. I know. We're victorious. Why did we fight? Like, what did I miss?
You know what would be really nice in a tactical RPG kind of like that? Do you remember back? I don't know if they still do this in Pokemon, but I know that in the GBA era, there was this thing where you would resume your game and it'd show you like a little black and white flashback of like the last couple of things that you did.
Right.
They should totally do that.
They should totally do that. And there are a couple of games that did pretty good job. This is not like an RPG, but I, the Somnium File, like that recently saw the release of the second game. So for the first game, what I played it, what happened is they would literally just show you like flashbacks, like no words, just flashbacks of images in like chronological order of like the last couple of things that happened, and it's just like already refreshes your memory. It kind of reminds you of like what happened.
Mhm.
just before you turn off the game. So I think that was like pretty well done. So more things like that I think would be helpful for some of these longer games.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Is the sound a little better? I just turned up my volume a little bit too. I can go a lot higher, but I don't want to blast Derek's eardrum or yours. So
Okay, so looking at my monitor, you might want to turn it up a little bit more.
hang on. I hold on.
I hope I don't regret this.
How about now? Am I
I
clipping?
yeah, you're clipping. Okay, so turn it back to where it was. I don't know what has happened. Why it's
Yeah, because I haven't changed my equipment setup at all for like the past couple of months, so I don't know.
yeah, it's probably something I did, guys. Don't
Okay.
blame Baku. It's me.
For once, it's not my fault. Am I still clipping right now? Am I good? Are we good?
No, you are no longer clipping.
Okay. Yeah, it's oh boy, I have like so much gain that I can still go, but it's gonna clip like crazy. So
Okay.
okay, so we'll mess with it a little bit more later on. We'll try to get okay. Let's see here. So the next thing that we've got is another tactical RPG, isometric tactical RPG. It's called Tyrant's Blessing, which was actually showcased during the Summer of Gaming a couple years back. But I just didn't cover it because there's just way too many things to talk about. But they had just announced the release date, so I figured now is a good time. So in this game, a being called the Tyrant appeared in the land of Tiberia, promising the inhabitants of the world a world without war, suffering, or even death. Now, all the inhabitants had to do is simply die and become part of the undead army. Sounds like a good trade. And so, without warning, the tyrant kind of basically turned a whole bunch of people undead. The player will have to gather the few living warriors scattered across the land to take back their homeland. So that's kind of the premise of the story. Sounds pretty interesting. Want to take a look?
Let's do that. Very good day to be a fan of strategy RPGs.
Oh yeah,
Very good week for it, actually.
yeah.
Actually, this has been a great year for strategy RPGs fans,
There
hasn't it?
has been a good couple of titles, just the ones that we have covered.
Like Octopath, I mean, not Octopath, but Triangle Strategy came out
Triangle
earlier this year.
Strategy, yeah.
The announcement of Tactics Ogre Reborn, all of these
Mhm.
isometric RPGs we're taking a look at right now. There
Yeah.
was the whatever the thing was called.
You know what it is? I feel like people were really waiting for tactics, Final Fantasy Tactics. They've been waiting, they're waiting, they're waiting.
Now
I
they're
think they
tired
just
of
got
waiting.
sick of waiting. They're like, yeah, I'm just gonna make my own.
Yeah.
Get this. So yeah, that's Tyrant's Blessing. Of course, it says coming summer 2022, but as I mentioned, they gave the release date. So the release date is going to be August 8th, 2022, tentative. And it will be coming out on the Switch and the PC. So if you are into isometric tactics game, definitely check out these two games. Again, they are Arcadian Atlas and Tyrant's Blessing.
Awesome. All right, so now we have another game here called Ravenlok, and this came from the developer Coco Cucumber. I want to make
It is
sure
exactly what you think it is.
Yep, Coco Cucumber. This
Mhm.
game is a fairy tale action RPG set in the kingdom troubled by a corrupt queen and a young girl who's been pulled in from the real world in order to fulfill a dangerous prophecy.
She got isekai. I wanted to write that in there, but I'm
Ah.
like, she got isekai. Yeah, that's what
So,
happened.
this game is the final game to the studio's Voxel trilogy, which
Mhm.
all feature the signature 3D pixel art. So,
Yes.
let's give that a quick gander here as well.
Oh, this one looks beautiful. See, she got isekai.
Through the looking glass, huh?
Yeah.
Oh,
You want to
Dude,
talk about
that
Alice in
looks
Wonderland? Yeah.
that
Look at
looks
this.
sick.
Yeah.
Oh, gross. Oh, that's cool. The spores. And it's an action RPG, eh?
It is an action RPG. Yeah.
That's very pretty.
I know. I saw this and I was like, okay, we have to talk about this. This
Like,
is a gorgeous looking game.
yeah, and when you said voxel, like part of me went straight to like Minecraft. I'm like, oh, this is
Mhm.
way better. Like if Minecraft was like an 8-bit voxel based, this is like a 32-bit. Like
Yeah,
the level of detail in it is great. I like the way that
yeah,
looks a lot.
I know. So yeah, that's man, you know, I'm always looking for some kind of like ARPGs that aren't like super you know, duper high like realism, you know what I mean? But like
Yeah.
just something that's like just fun to play. So, and that looks like what that would be. So
Yeah, that looks like it
yeah.
also isn't like one of those super teleporty sort of like you just button mash and you zoom all over the place.
Hmm.
Like you can kind of tell what you're doing. I think
Hmm.
that looks like that'd
A
be a
little
lot
more
of fun.
Zelda-y, maybe. I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah, little
So
road dodges here and there.
that's going to be coming out sometime in 2023 on the Xbox consoles, Game Pass, PC, and via the Epic Games Store. So
That's right.
keep an eye out for that if you like your platforms on Microsoft stuff.
Yeah, this is going out to all the Xbox folks who are like, ah, it's always finding games that's on PlayStation and Switch. What about us? Like, well, no, that one is going to Xbox. It's not my fault. They don't release a lot of JRPGs on Xbox,
Oh,
right?
and
But
hey,
this one is close.
it's also coming to Steam Deck, right? No, yeah,
It is. No, it's not going to
no,
Steam Deck.
no, it's not on Steam.
Epic Game Store.
Ah,
Epic Game Store.
oh, well, never mind.
No Steam Deck for
Well,
you.
I mean, unless you did it manually, I think you could probably still get
Yeah,
away with
I
it.
think you can still do it. Yeah, I think you can still do it. All right. So this next title is my fault that we're talking about it today because I shelved it because I thought it was Japan released only and I just didn't feel like talking about a game that like the rest of you
Mhm.
have no access to.
Yeah.
But I was wrong because yeah, it turns out there is a Western release or international release rather on PC via Steam. And this game is called Monochrome Mobius
Monochrome
Rights and Wrongs
Morbius.
Forgotten. It is such a it is so blah. Anyways, in celebrating 20 years of Utawariru Mono's franchise, Aquaplay, the studio that makes Utawariru Mono, announced a brand new turn-based RPG called Monochrome Morbius Rights and Wrongs Forgotten, which will serve as a prequel to the Utawariru Mono series. Music will be composed by Naoya Shimokawa, and the story will be written by the Utawariru Mono writer, Munemitsu Suga. So you want to take a look at this beautiful trailer. Oh my god, this game is
Yeah.
just so freaking gorgeous. Like,
Yep.
I'm so stoked. Like, I don't know why I shelved this thing.
Also, I'm sorry, I tricked you into saying Morbius.
Morbius? Oh my god.
Yep, it's Monochrome Mobius time. Mobin
It is
time.
Mobius. Moby time.
Let's
We're
do this.
Mobin. We're just two regular boomers trying to be funny.
If I can make you laugh, that's all that matters. Otherwise, I'd just be sitting here making myself laugh, and that's not fun. People think that's weird, but if I can make you laugh, that's good.
Okay, so this game looks amazing. It's gonna tell us. This is like a 5-minute trailer, so we're probably gonna cut
geez.
short. But
Yeah.
yeah, let's just at least take a look at some of the background story to get you guys into this thing.
I will allow you to drive if you want to skip around at all.
Yeah, I'll do that. I think the guy who is voicing the main character, if I'm not mistaken, is probably the guy from Gintama again.
Hmm.
And he's like super prolific. He has a very distinctive voice.
Okay.
So, for anyone who does not know about the Utawariru Mono series, this game is no different. Like the the art and the worldview is heavily influenced by the Ainu people, which modern day like Hokkaido, so like the northernmost region of Japan.
Okay.
But yeah, but the natives there are known as like the Ainus. So you will see very specific like maybe patterns of dress that like while like Japanese is not exactly what you typically think of as being Japanese, and it's just like that they just look a little off for some of you. Maybe that's the reason why
Huh.
it's not like the typical Japanese kind of like attire, if you will.
Yeah.
It's very beautiful. So like I know a lot of people are like, oh, there aren't any like new like turn-based RPG that like looks really good. It's like, well, there you go. This is a beautiful turn-based RPG. I think it's gonna satisfy a lot of your like what is it? Just I don't know, hunger, if you will. It's just everything is actions. Well, this one is turn-based. Unfortunately, Final Fantasy 16 is still going to be action. So, is your camera going off again?
A little bit. It's fine. Masaka. Uh-oh.
Yes. Yeah. No jump. No jump. Don't die, please. Okay, so I think I'm gonna like cut it a little short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's that's probably.
I don't want to like. But hey, listen. All the links for all the trailers, as usual, are down in the description. So you just want to watch it, like it's all there. Okay, like
Yeah.
no worries. We got you. Okay.
So again,
I knew
it's called Monochrome Mobius.
That's right. Yeah. Sorry, I was just answering chat real quick. Yes, it is. I knew. That's where the aesthetics, like inspiration for this game comes from. Well, in fact, for the entire series, not even just this title, but just the entire series. All the aesthetics comes from like that I knew sort of aesthetics.
Hokkaido area.
So
Okay.
yeah. Interesting little tidbits for anyone who's like interested into like the history of things. But okay, so so this game is going to come out September 8th on PS4, PS5, and PC in Japan. And that's all I stopped at, and that's why I shelved it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's actually also coming out same day, September 8th.
Worldwide.
Internationally, yeah. But on PC only. So no PS4, PS5 at the moment.
So far.
If they ever do release PS4, PS5, we'll let you all know. But so far, it's PC only via Steam, which is, still pretty good. It's very accessible for most folks.
Yeah.
But if it ever comes out, on other, platform, we'll definitely keep you guys posted. Yeah.
For sure.
This game looks amazing. So I'm definitely playing that one. Yeah. All right.
So Baku, what happened this week? There was a big Nintendo Direct that I heard about.
Nintendo Direct. Yes.
What was all of that going on about there, man? There was this whole big thing about Xenoblade.
Man,
is that
Xenoblade? Okay, so let me just preface this really quickly because I know a lot of people care about this. So let me just preface this really, really fast before people run off and scared. We're not going to show any videos. Yeah. So if this is a concern for you, we've deliberately chosen not to show any Xenoblade 3 videos. Okay, well, it's just going to be descriptions of things and background information to the game only. Okay, so all factual stuff. But if you're still worried about it, come back in like I want to say like maybe just 15 minutes. Come back in 15 minutes. Okay, we'll be done by then. Okay, but let's get going. So there was much anticipation for a Nintendo Direct from all these folks. Maybe like 4 weeks back, and there was speculations there was going to be one. And then once Nintendo actually announced there would be one, people complained because it's just a Direct for Xenoblade 3 only. How dare you? It's not like
how
Nintendo has
dare
never
they?
done that before. Like, what? How dare you do a
I
direct
know.
on just one game?
I mean, hey, you can have 15 Nintendo Directs for Smash Brawl and no one bats an eye.
Yeah.
One just dedicated to Xenoblade and everybody loses their
People just
minds.
flip out. Yeah.
People just
Even
want to
though
see the world burn.
they have directs for like, I don't know, Splatoon, and it was just nothing but Splatoon. They've done that before. It's
I
not
know.
new, guys.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they
What's
did
with
a
that?
direct.
Why are RPG fans treated
Yeah,
like
why are
second
they
class
hating on
citizens? Come
JRPGs, man?
on. Rude.
We
We are
got band together. We got
uh,
band together. We gotta fight this.
I
So,
agree.
it was a 24-minute presentation focused on Xenoblade Chronicles 3. So let's talk about it, right?
Yeah.
So what did they show in there? Well, here's some information, some background now confirmed for the game. There are going to be two warring nations in the world of Ionios, the Keves and the Agnes, whose soldiers will fight every single day of their lives on the line. And these soldiers have said to have a lifespan of only 10 years, which is very odd compared to the games we played before in Xenoblade 1 and Xenoblade 2. We already know that this world is definitely connected to the previous game.
Mhm.
So how did they go from the resolution of Xenoblade, nation situation? That's something that we're all very interested in seeing. There will be 6 main characters, all of them soldiers, 3 from each nation. Their names are Noah, Uni, Lance, Mio, Tyon, and Senna. They're going to be forming an uneasy alliance to accomplish their mission, even as they are branded as traitors by both nations. So, very intriguing. Um, it looks like the banter sort of cutscene stuff is going to come back from Xenoblade 2 instead of like the heart to heart that we saw in Xenoblade 1.
Mhm.
Gen crafting, quest routes, rest spots, landmarks, fast travel, changing time, chain attacks, just to name a few things, they're all coming back. So these are kind of things that like a lot of fans are like, oh boy, are they going to bring this back? Are they going to bring this back? These are
Yeah.
things that they really,
A lot of like
especially
the fan
quest
favorite
routes.
things, yeah.
Oh yeah, quest routes. Just please give me quest routes and teleport. Like I don't need anything else. Like those are the best features. Um, and also for fans of the series, the immovable Gonzalez is back. Although there's no words on Machine Gun Julio. Just a little sum for the fans out there. You can now freely switch between characters mid battle. So that's something that's brand new, right? Xenoblade 1, Xenoblade not switch between characters
Really?
mid
Okay.
battle. You can switch outside of battle
Mhm.
who you control. But now in this new title, you can finally. So if I want to be like a fighter and then like the healer doesn't seem like the AI is doing its job, boom,
Yeah.
switch over to AI, switch over, take control, right? So
That'll work.
you can do that now. So I don't know how well it's gonna do. No one really, but hey,
Sure.
it's there. Um, there's going to be a new class system with master arts that can be equipped between classes. So let's say I'm a fighter class, I level this up, I get a master class. I can then switch over to a tank class and then still use certain skills from like a healer class or an attacker class. So that's pretty cool.
Hmm.
All classes are basically divided into 3 separate roles. There's the attacker, the tank, and the healer. So pretty straightforward from like the MMOs kind of like game style play.
Yeah.
But each of those like roles will also have many different classes, right? So each of the main characters is going to carry a class. Not to mention that your party can recruit a 7th member that they call heroes.
Okay.
Only one hero can be used at a time, and you recruit them just basically throughout the story. So does that make sense? There's 6 main characters plus a
plus like
7th slot.
and it's kind of like a guest.
Like a guest slot.
slot.
Yeah, it's like a guest slot. Yeah.
Okay.
And you meet these characters throughout your journey, right?
Mhm.
And these 7th characters will also provide you with a new class that your rest of your cast can switch into.
Oh, like
Yeah, so I was just like,
permanently
oh,
or like
okay,
just while they're in the party? That'd be
permanently, I believe.
that would make sense.
I
Yeah.
believe. I don't really know, but I believe it is permanent.
That
Yeah,
would make
because you
sense.
can learn skills on it just like any other class. So I would assume that's permanent. Otherwise, it'd be kind of silly.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can spend points. So there's going to be like a ton of customization. So I'm super excited for that. Now here's another thing that's brand new. When there are 2 specific members out of the 6. They can form something called an Ouroboros. Ouroboros? I can never pronounce this word.
Ouroboros?
Ouroboros? Ouroboros.
Oh,
Ouroboros.
oh yeah, the Ouroboros.
Up there. This.
The Arabarabia.
That thing.
The
So, anyways,
Ororo.
yeah. So of course, again, there are six main characters. Two of them will form like a pair, and then but it will be like
Mhm.
specific characters. So it's not like any combination, but like it's
Yeah.
very specific combination. And each of them can have two separate forms depending on who is taking lead in that form. Does that make sense?
Okay, so like they can basically do a fusion dance and become like one character, basically.
So imagine Vegito, go
Yeah.
tank, go tank.
Yeah. Yeah.
Imagine go tank, right?
Uh-huh.
But instead of them two acting in unison as one unit, one of them, right? So it'll be like go tank with go ten leading,
Yeah.
or tank leading the
Okay,
unit,
so
and
it's
depending on
like
who's
Vegito
leading.
versus it's Vegito versus Gogeta.
Yes,
Yeah, that's
yes,
yeah,
yes,
I get that.
yes,
Sure, makes
yes.
sense. Cool.
God, thank you for making it way easier to explain.
Yeah, you bet. So yeah,
Yeah.
Vegito and Gogeta. Perfect.
And also, something else that people will care about is that there will be towns in this game, which is
Yeah.
pretty important. Because boy, do we not want to see another Final Fantasy 13. Um, no towns. You just walk up to like a soulless machine and just buy things. No, there will be towns,
Yeah.
and they're called colonies in this game. So they'll act as like towns. So you can kind of like get some rest and do your shopping. There will also be a paid expansion that's announced for $30 ahead of the game. So we're kind of looking forward to that. And the expansion is going to cover, I believe, 3 separate updates that last all the way into April of next year. So, boy, you're not really going to be in a hurry to play this game. So, if you want to wait until the last DLC come out, that's like April of next year. So, have fun. But I think the rest of us will just be playing the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, there'll be 3 separate DLCs within the expansion pass, and again, it's going to cost $30 altogether. So that's all that is sort of like talked about and explained and distilled for your pleasure from the 20 minutes of presentation that I didn't plan on watching until I realized that I need to watch it. So there you go.
Thank you, Baku,
Okay?
for watching that so we didn't have
Do you
to.
understand? Like, I'm telling you the rest of you.
Wait.
I'm one of those people who is like, I'm not gonna watch any of these videos until I crack that game open and see it for the first time
Oh.
since the release trailer.
Oh yeah.
But no, that can't happen because I'm doing a podcast on game news and I gotta thing and tell you what's in there.
Well, Baku,
I've avoided all the trailers so far.
I
I've avoided all the
appreciate you.
trailers so far.
You did?
Okay.
Oh man.
I did. I avoided every single trailer except for the release trailer because that was the
Yeah.
direct in February, right? And no one
Yeah.
knew it was coming out. So okay, I saw that. But
Oh,
all the
man.
other things, I've skipped every single thing. When people come to my stream and they're like, "Did you see the new trailer?" I'm like, "No," because I want to see all these things for the first time when I turn on the game.
I appreciate
That's not
you,
happening
Baku.
anymore.
That's you. Baku died, so you guys can live. Just remember that at home.
And all the people were skipping this right now. Being like,
I know.
I don't want to.
I know. Well, you sent them away for 15 minutes, and we have about 5 minutes left before they tune back in all at once. So, what were your thoughts on what you saw? I mean, I've not played Xenoblade since the original on Wii, and I got pretty far, but then I acquired a creature and I quit shortly thereafter. I don't remember.
Yeah. Well, I think I've done a very non-scientific survey of all the people who come into the stream because I'm playing Xeno 2 and Xeno 1, and there's always people coming in. The biggest by far complaint is always the battle system, right? And that's fair. Like, if that's something that doesn't click with you, it doesn't click with you. Like, I'm not here to change minds, right?
Sure.
I think it's an amazing game, a great story, great characters, just like I rank it so high, right? Xenoblade 1 and 2. If you can get past the whole battle thing. And in fact, Xenoblade 2 battle is actually fun. Now, we are going to we're going to have like a chat with like a couple of friends who are also playing this game, so look forward to that. But for Xenoblade 3, I'm just seeing all these like great features that people really liked coming back in Xenoblade 3. So I want to bring that up and let you guys know, yes, in fact, they are coming back. And I think that's one of the big concerns from a lot of fans is like, will these feature come back? Will this come back? What will they do?
Yeah.
And it seems like that is indeed the case. So great news. It looks like they're taking the Torna system and just revamping it and really expanding on the Torna battle system, which people really liked.
Good.
So yeah, so we're very excited to see Xenoblade 3. Now, one more piece of news that I'd like to bring to people, unfortunately, the
Hmm.
special edition is still not open, and they have not given us a new date for the special edition. So I am also waiting for the special edition, guys. But as soon as that is available, we'll talk about it on HitPoint, but just follow us on Twitter because this might be extremely timely. We do the show once a week, right? If they're
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, it opens the next day, you might not get it here. Okay, so just the nature of the beast. But we will be tweeting it out, so you definitely give us a follow
I
on
mean,
Twitter.
Baku's
Well,
definitely going to tweet it
extremely,
out because he's going to be
yeah.
trying to get his hands on some, and
We're gonna tell
that's
you
awesome, dude.
extremely timely stuff. We have no choice but to tweet it out. So we'll do that. Yeah. All right. Well, that's all I've got. Are we good on time? We good?
Yeah, we can, whatever, it's fine.
Yeah.
All right. So, next up, we're going to start covering a little bit of industry news this evening,
Yes.
starting with Cosmic Fantasy Collection, which is currently crowdfunding on Makuake. Makuake?
Makuake. Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
I've never heard of that before. But anyways, uh, Ada is the company that recently brought us Valis collections, is back at it again. This time they are crowdfunding to remaster the space dungeon crawling RPG called Cosmic Fantasy. Now, this series was originally released as Cosmic Fantasy Adventure Boy U on the PC Engine back in 1990.
Mhm.
Ada
That is
was,
such a '90s title. I'm sorry.
I know,
It's just-
Adventure Boy U. Yeah. Well, and that's
right.
YUU. You know, like,
Mhm.
yeah. So it's not like it's the name of a person, not like YOU. It's not your self insert. Um, so and by the way, PC Engine, super 90s as well. This is a very
I
90s
know. I
IP.
know.
And it came out in 1990. I mean, back in the
Hmm.
day, that's what they did. Like there was like Monster Boy, there was
Hmm.
Adventure Boy, there was like
Yeah.
Casino Kid. Like there's all kinds like Casino Kid. There shouldn't be any children in casinos, but that's what they did back in the 90s. It was a wild time.
Mm.
So anyways, Ada was looking for 3 million yen, or about 23,000 US dollars. And as of the time of writing, or of this podcast at least,
Mhm.
they have raised 6.5 million yen, which is more than double the original goal for those of you who suck at math. So that's really exciting for them. Now, we are relatively confident that Ada's ability to, or Ada? Edia.
Adia. Yeah.
Edia. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. EDIA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Adia. Uh-huh.
Now we're relatively confident. Well, Baku's confident. I don't know who these guys are, but Baku's confident that they'll be able to bring this game to market, especially given the track record that they've already brought us, the Valis collection, and that they are
Mhm.
on track to bring a second collection to the market. So, Cosmic
Mhm. Yeah.
Fantasy Collection is tentatively scheduled to launch in Japan in December of 2022 on Nintendo Switch.
Yeah. No words on international, but there's a good chance because they have like a proper channel to localize these items. Although like Valis collection is probably a lot less text than a full-on RPG, so it'll be interesting to see if they will be able to localize it. Something to keep an eye on. By the way, have you ever heard of the Cosmic Fantasy games? Have you ever seen that before?
No. I mean,
Oh, geez.
it sounds familiar, like but with a name like that, how can it not sound familiar?
I had completely forgotten that I played this game until I saw the article and I saw the picture. I'm like, oh yeah, I played this. It
Cosmic fantasy.
completely, yeah, completely. It's kind of a dungeon crawl. You know what this game is like? You get to fly to different planets and different places, and it's kind of like Star Ocean, but like not Star Ocean. It's kind
Okay.
of cool. Yeah, you get to fly to different planets, and you get to like continue your quests. It was a super confusing game for me because first, I really don't really like Content Crawl, but I had to play what I had to play. But also was complete Japanese, and I didn't really understand what I was reading either. So I'm just like
Hmm.
flying planet to planet trying to figure out what's going on.
Oh, well,
It was not a good time.
looks like my buddy John from Happy Console Gamer actually did
Mhm.
a series review of Cosmic Fantasy. So I
Oh,
think
very
maybe that's why
nice.
I've heard of it,
Oh,
but maybe I've
okay.
never played it. So go check out his video and find out if it's worth your
Yeah.
while. Hopefully it will be.
Well, tell them that
Tell him that
potentially
HitPoint
remaster
sent you.
collection is coming. Yeah,
Oh,
tell them
okay.
that his point sent you. Yep, yep. All right. You got that next one there? Oh, you got the next one, or you want me to take the east one?
You got this. We'll ease into
Okay,
this one.
we'll ease into this one. We need that sound thing for you. We gotta
Just
get
a
that for
rim
you. Okay.
shot, sure.
All righty. So listen, I know a lot of you guys are really interested in hearing something about East 10, and I'm here to disappoint you that no, it is in fact not yet known if it is East 10. So
My
please
bad.
hype responsibly.
My
Yeah,
bad.
please hype responsibly, guys.
By the way, you can get your Hype Responsibly shirt to help you remember to hype responsibly over at shop.superdarkrpgs.com and get yourself one of these awesome Hit Point t-shirts while we're at it. Go ahead, Baku.
I love your plugs. Anyways, yeah. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. All right. Let's get the facts. Let's get the facts in and get the hype down. So we originally reported this back in January, actually, talking about the Falcom president Toshihiro Kondo, who hinted at a new game being worked on by the team at the time during an interview with Weibo. I don't even remember back in January. It was like 6 months ago as we already talked about this. So now he's finally bringing more information with regards to the game with an interview with Famitsu. So here's what we do know. There is a new concept key art. Do you have the art up there, or do you
I
want to
don't
find it?
have it. I can look it up real quick though.
Okay, yeah. So there's a new key art available now depicting Ado and another character performing some kind of attack on a monster. There is no particular platform that is set, although Kondo has said that the team is working on multi-platform so that more people can enjoy this new East game. In terms of gameplay, and this is a point of contention with a lot of people, so let's clarify. The game will introduce some Souls-like elements. For example, being in one-to-one combat where player will have to watch and really learn the enemy's movement and patterns. And I kind of wanted to spell certain things because it sounds like, in a game of telephone specifically, it sounds like it is somehow being translated to Kondo says the next game will be like a Souls game, which is not at all what he said. Not
Yeah.
even remotely close.
Thanks for
What he
clearing that
said
up.
was, yeah, what he said was there are certain Souls-like elements that we would like to bring to the game, and we believe it would enhance the game's play and also difficulty.
Yeah.
That is not the same as we're gonna make a Souls game with East characters. So please be sure to understand the distinction and the nuance he's really saying to you.
That is part of why we
I
changed the thumbnail, by the way, because I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh yeah, East Souls, sure, I'll throw that in there." And Baku's like,
I was like, no.
Baku steps in, "Not cool, bro."
No, we're gonna get yelled at by people. We're like, oh, is that they're not making a Souls game. They're not. They're
Uh,
not. They're not. They're not. They're not. They're just saying that there are elements from Souls games that they would
yeah,
like to implement. And to be honest, I don't see that as like a terribly bad thing because like if you played East for a long time, like I have, like there's a lot of commonality between East and the Souls game, anyways, as far as like just fighting really tough bosses is concerned. So changing the what is it called, the formula a little bit, it's not strange. I mean, what do you want to go back to, like bump into enemies, because that's East 1 and 2? You're just bumping into people. You want to go old school? You want to go back to that, right?
Yeah, let's go
And then
back.
it
Let's
turned,
do it.
yeah, let's go back. Yeah, you want to go OG? Yeah, let's bump into people, right? But then they turned into like kind of like, like slashes, kind of like more like Zelda kind of like fights, just something a little bit more fast paced. And then I think it was like E7, they brought in like the parties, so you can kind of swap between different like party members during a battle. So like they're constantly evolving, right? And it's not a bad thing, but we'll see what they end up doing, right? No one knows. No one knows what
Yeah.
they're doing right now.
Now I do have that
Oh,
concept art here pulled up so everybody
yeah.
can see that at the moment. So you can see Adol and somebody else fighting a monster. Very cool stuff.
Yeah, it looks really good. I mean,
It
look,
does. Not a whole lot
they've
you can
been
tell from
doing
it, but
such.
it looks cool.
Can you imagine that's what happens when you bump into them? Like you see the bumping, right? You see the bumping, but
Yeah.
this is what's actually happening. It's this crazy flashy attack, but all we see is just a bump.
So so like in the original East titles, there was bump based mechanics. Did you ever have to like grind in order to like gain levels back in the? I've never played the original, so
I okay,
I
so
imagine so. So
I
East was
played
the original
original.
game of like bump and grind, right?
Damn you. I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. And I let it happen. I failed everyone in this stream right now. Um yeah, but East the I played a game back in PC Engine, so I don't even remember it too well, like the actual original. But there
Yeah.
is the Steam re-release, and they kept the battle mechanics, and boy, is it not fun.
Uh,
It's just, I hated every second of that game.
I
Yeah.
played Hide which also had bump mechanics.
Mhm.
And it's also pretty notorious for being like not super fun. So I kind of understand what you mean by that.
Yeah.
Um, but
But
it's
I
definitely got its
played through
own
it.
it's its
Yeah.
own form of fun, I think. And
Yeah.
I don't want to upset anybody who actually really enjoys the bump style
Oh no,
mechanics because
that
there
that's
are
just
people who
that's just
do.
for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just wasn't fun for me. But I've got to say, despite that, I'm still a huge fan of East. Love
Oh yeah.
East 3, love Origin. Just man, I'm still working through all the playthroughs, but we'll get back to that. One last thing that he did mention is that the title will be harder relatively to recent games.
Okay.
So they're bringing the difficulty up. The
They're
recent
bringing
game's
the
been too
difficulty
easy.
back
Yeah,
because like
recent games too easy.
mhm.
Too easy. This new game that's coming, it's gonna be harder. So look forward to it. Because I'm looking forward to the comeback of like hard East games.
Yeah.
East used to known as like being tough, and then recent games is, I don't know, it's a little weak. But now they're bringing it back, so we'll look forward to it. As reported back in January, Kondo stated that there's no way that this game will be a 2022 title. Maybe next year, right? But
Mhm.
definitely don't look forward to this game coming out this year.
Also
Not even close. Yeah.
also it's Falcom, so like it'll come out maybe 2023 and then we'll
Mhm.
get it in like 2025.
That's right. Uh, that's absolutely right.
Sorry, Falcom fans. I had to.
Oh, actually, I forgot to write this in, but
Yeah.
this is going to be just off my head. But on a related topic for
Yeah.
you, Derek, and for all of you Trails fans. So I believe is actually within this interview, perhaps. He was also asked about Trails from Zero and Trails to Azure. And this is a very interesting tidbit.
Yeah.
They asked him, with the new graphics improvements in Cold Steel and stuff, why don't you take this opportunity to do a complete remake of Zero and Azure if you're going to release it late internationally anyways, instead of just doing a straight localization, right? And I think I've heard some people ask something like that before. It's like, well, this was
Eh,
never introduced in the West anyway, so why don't you just do a remake with like the Cold Steel or the Kuro sort of engine?
sure. Uh-huh.
And here's what Kondo has to say.
Oh.
He says that actually with the way that they're going right now with Kuro, they're about 60 to 70% of telling the entire Trails story. So they're a little past half point, like 60, 70%, according to Kondo.
Hmm.
And if they were to pull resource away now and make these like remakes for Azure and Zero,
Yeah.
uh the people working on it will retire before they get to finish the games. Which is kind of funny but also very true. And he said that's really the reason he wants these
Yeah.
people to be able to see to the end before they retire. So
Yeah.
there you go, that explains why there will not be any remix of Azure and Zero from the president himself.
And that probably
um
has to include Trails in the Sky as well.
Yeah, all that. All
Yeah.
that. It's really because they want to keep going and keep telling this grand story. And I respect that.
Yeah.
So, hey, instead of
Excelsior,
giving us
right?
remakes,
Ever
they're just going
onward
to
and
keep giving us
upward.
new games. Yeah, ever onward and upward. Yeah. So there you go, guys. That's the story that I forgot to type in.
Awesome. Thanks for covering
All
that.
right. Yeah, no worries. No worries. It took some reading into the interviews to find that little tidbit. And I thought that was extremely interesting.
That is really interesting,
All
and
right.
I'm glad that they're not trying to split the resources
Yeah,
so much,
absolutely.
because
Absolutely.
they are a small development team, and I think that
Yeah.
it's because they're a small development team that they are able
Mhm,
to maintain a laser focus and singular vision for the Trails series, which is part of what
mhm.
makes it so unique at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I respect it. I respect what they do. So just keep doing. They're doing great. Just keep going. You
Yeah,
know, I feel like the remix or whatever. That's just sort of like what's the word? That's just like the cherry on top if you can give it. But man,
yeah,
if it's gonna impede with telling the main story, I'd rather you just give us
I
the
know.
main story and give
Like,
us the good stuff. Yeah.
imagine George R.R. Martin. He's like writing his, Song of Fire and Ice, and he's one book away, but he's like, you know what? I'm gonna start rewriting my first book because I just didn't, feel like I captured the, I'm gonna just rewrite each of the books actually in order just to make sure that they all have the same style,
Retcon. Hmm.
make sure everything
Yeah.
is up to my current style, and then he dies
Yes.
before he finishes, just that's exactly the sort of thing they're trying to avoid. So smart for
Yeah.
them.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. So good on you, Kondo. Just keep doing you. We love it. All right. So I know you guys are getting tired of hearing my voice, but nonetheless, there's still this really long thing that I need to cover. So let's get into YoshiP's interviews with various game publications on FF16. Because
Okay.
man, this okay, you don't know this.
He's been making the rounds, huh?
He's making rounds. Okay, listen, he interviewed with no less than 12 different game publications over a single week. 12.
What?
No, 12 that I read. 12 different publications that I read.
Wow.
And each of these publications are its own individual interview. It's not like, oh, Game Informer is reporting what GameSpot wrote.
No.
No, Game Informer has their interview, GameSpot had their interview, IGN had their interview, PS Blog had their interview, Dengeki had their interview. So I read all of them, and
Mhm.
here is what we've got for your listening pleasures. So let's get down to it. So, what are the updates that we've gotten from all of these different interviews? Here's what I found.
All right.
Okay. So, the most recent trailer that we saw in June, that's actually been ready since March. And the reason why it was delayed and wasn't shown until June was because of concerns over the war in Ukraine, since
Oh.
FF16 is very heavy in the war theme.
Okay, yeah, that's
And
fair.
yeah, and PlayStation also shares similar concerns, so they're just like, you know what, let's just hold back on showing this. So that's just little tidbits from YoshiP.
Mhm.
FF16 is moving away from the modern and steampunk style into more classic fantasy theme for basically two main reasons.
Okay.
First reason is because based on their research, it's indicated that players are starting to notice the futuristic style, and they're feeling like the entire entries is getting a little bit static. And
Yeah.
I kind of concur. As a long-term like Final Fantasy fan, I've
Yeah.
played since FF4 original, like as a child, all the way to now, and boy, I am getting a little like, like you could do something a little different.
I
So I
always
welcome it personally. Yeah.
Personally, I always really enjoyed the fantasy settings that had,
Hmm.
like, on the fringes of it, a little hint
Hmm.
of
Yeah.
steampunk, but then it got to be too much.
Yeah. They're going straight back to like dark, like, fantasy
Yeah,
settings. I like
Middle
it looks
Ages.
awesome.
I dig
Yeah.
it.
And yeah, so the second reason, actually, I forgot to type that. The second reason is because that he said that the team actually just enjoys working with this art style, including
Mhm.
himself, and they've gotten a little like weared out from just doing this futuristic sort of style. So they just kind of want to do something different for themselves too. So that's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
that makes sense.
Uh, FF16 will allow players to customize difficulty by equipping and removing various accessories that will provide various AI assistance, for example, auto dodge. Now, we've already seen similar implementations in Nier Automata, so it's not like Square Enix has never done this before, but this is going to be a little bit more granular. Each of these accessories will do like maybe for a specific function. You can kind of like equip and unequip as you like to kind of customize your experience so that if you've got certain kind of disabilities or you're just really not used to action game but you don't want to turn like just easy mode, you can certainly just add like maybe one or two things just to like make the experience a little like more enjoyable for yourself.
Mhm.
So I think that's a point towards the right direction for a lot of the action games. um FF16 will not be an open world game, and instead it will be an area-based game similar to
Okay,
Pokemon Legends Arceus. So in
sure.
Arceus, there are different biomes, and within the biome, it feels like an open world, but once you enter and leave the biome, like they don't connect, right? So it's not
Yeah.
true open world.
Kinda like Dragon Quest,
Now
12 or 11
kind
rather.
of, yeah.
11.
Yeah. Now, the reason that YoshiP said they had to do it is because, in quote, in order to bring a story that feels like it spans an entire globe and beyond,
Mhm.
we've decided to avoid open world design that limits us to a single open world space and instead focus on an independent area based game design that can give players a better feel of a truly global scale.
I appreciate that.
So yeah, I think that makes sense because like, look, if you can you imagine like GTA, that's one city, right?
Yeah.
One open city. You want to do an entire continent? Like how do you know how much resources and you have to fill that continent with things, right?
Yeah.
Too small and it feels like, it's just a really small place. Too large is really basically just pretty impossible to do
Yeah.
with, the resources that they have and the timeline that they have.
Yeah. They're
So, I
they're
mean, the only
curating the experience this way, and I appreciate that.
exactly, exactly. So it makes sense. It makes sense. Let's focus on areas that matters and all the other things that don't matter, we'll remove it, but we'll try our best to make it feel like you're really traversing the land. So,
Yeah.
it makes sense. It makes sense. And also, and this make
Oh,
bid.
your mic cut out there. Could you say that again?
Oh, sorry. It's also going to make a little bit more sense when you hear the next bid, right? The
Mhm.
players will actually follow the life of Clive through three stages: his teenage years, his 20s, and his 30s.
Oh.
So now compound that with a open world global game that
Oh.
spans
Yeah.
3 decades. Like, can you
Okay.
imagine the kind of development power you have to make this happen?
That sounds
Um,
incredibly intricate then.
Yeah, so not only is it a grand scale like story, it's also like a long like history that you have to cover. So
Mhm.
we'll see how it ends up. I mean, it sounds grand, but execution is where we want to see it. So I don't want to like hype this and just praise him for no reason, but it
Sure.
certainly is very grand. FF16 is currently playable from start to finish, which is nice. The team is actually just working on refinements like voiceover work on multiple languages, play testing, difficulty balancing, tweaks on narrative cutscenes, and also just like general debugging. So they're just kind of doing like the final touches. The game will be a complete experience at launch. There is no plans for any other kind of content, DLCs, like you have it. So it's just going to be one contained
Oh,
experience, complete. Okay, and anything extra would just be extra. Okay, but this is just solid work. You don't have to watch an anime and a movie and play a phone game and do like 10 other things, read 5 novels to get the backstory. None of that.
That is music to my ears. Like that it's so stupid that gave me goosebumps. Like legitimately, I was just like, I'm like, ooh, a single experience with no DLC,
Yeah,
no season passes, no
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 season passes.
no read the manga
Nothing.
to figure out
Nope.
what they really
No,
meant.
no, none of that. None of that. None of that.
Oh, that's
Yeah. So
incredible.
but that's what he's promising anyways. We'll see.
Yeah.
There may be a third trailer that will come in this fall that will detail the icon battle. So it's sort of like if you've seen the icons, right? They're like sort of
Yeah.
like giant summons. So there's going to be these like sort of summon battles that you can take place in.
Mhm.
So he wants to showcase more of that. So that's really cool. Okay, hold on 1 second. I feel like I skipped a thing. I definitely skipped the thing somewhere. Oh, there it is. I knew I skipped the thing because I'm like, that's a point that I didn't bring up. Okay,
Yeah.
here's another point that a lot of and remember, I'm reading a lot of these things and just like cherry picking a lot of things. There's
Yeah.
way
This
more
is
things that they talk
not
about.
exhaustive, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm cherry picking a lot of like key points that like I've heard complaints about, or not complaints, but concerns about.
Sure.
And I've also had these concerns. So one of the major one is, will there be companions, or is this going to be a Devil May Cry sort of situation? And the answer is
What?
there will be
There will.
companions.
Okay.
The protagonist Clive will be accompanied by one or more companions for most of his journey, who will participate in battle as well as banter with Clive. These party members will all be AI controlled, unfortunately, but they will still be there. So there's that for the story perspective. Last but not least, and I forgot to write this again, the game will be rated for M for mature, not because they want to just force the story to be dark and mature,
Mhm.
but because, and this is from YoshiP, they felt like it was necessary to tell a darker story. So
Yeah.
just fans be aware that it's going to be a darker story. They're not going to do it for like darkness sake, but that's just how it
Yeah.
turned out. It's about war. It's not
Yeah.
cheery, like that's just the theme of the story. It's going to be mature.
Yeah.
So awesome. Music to my ears. Yeah.
Smart. It's smart to at least like throw off those shackles early on and then base your development against that, instead of like trying to like tell a story and then be like, oh well, we want to make sure we can cater
Yeah.
to the teens.
We gotta
and
cut things. Yeah.
yeah,
It's gonna be mature from the get-go, right? And they're not
Exactly.
backing down. They don't care. We're not trying to go for PG or whatever. Or
They're
what's
focusing
the
on a
rank?
story. They've got a story and they want to tell it, and they don't
Yeah,
want
and they're
any
gonna
ratings getting in the way.
absolutely,
I like that.
absolutely. So there you go. That's the Final Fantasy 16 coverage after reading like those how many interviews. It took me a whole day to just
That
just think.
Thank you, Baku.
One whole day.
We appreciate you, man. Here, I'll read this next couple just to give your voice a break here and put your feet up for a moment, because guys, Star Ocean, the Divine Force, is to appear at Star Ocean program stream. So this is another Square Enix. We are getting to get some more news on another Square Enix title. We're getting some news on Star Ocean. So there's going to be a Star Ocean program special edition stream in Japan discussing Star Ocean, the Divine Force. It's going to be broadcasting on the 29th of this month at 7 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. Central Time. There will be a link down in the description to that broadcast, so make sure you go bookmark that if you want to make sure you catch it live. Otherwise, we'll catch you up after the fact.
Absolutely.
So yeah, otherwise, not really any news about that, except that they have the event. You'll want to make sure you catch up on that. And then in kind of rumor mill news, I mean, it's we don't have too many details. I mean, we know that From Software is working on a few new projects here with different directors, but we don't know really much about them right now. But From Software president and Elden Ring director Hidetaka Miyazaki told 4Games in a recent interview that his company is working on multiple new projects with different directors. Miyazaki also mentioned that the next From Software game will be nearing the end of development here pretty soon, and that fans are speculating, or rather, and fans are speculating that it might, in fact, be a new Armored Core game, maybe
That
Armored
would be
Core
interesting.
6,
Yeah.
but nothing has been announced at the moment. So,
Nothing's announced.
yeah, nothing has been announced. It's just he's mentioned they've got a couple games that they're working on, one of which is nearing an end, and man, that's pretty interesting. I mean, especially
From Software is hitting hard.
They
now.
are.
They're one company to watch, guys.
I'm thinking this one probably isn't going to be very Souls-like, because I'm guessing that a lot of their, Souls-born people are working on, or were, at least during the production of this other game, were working on Elden Ring, right? It's got to be.
Yeah.
So this has got to be something that has a different set of people working on it. And so maybe that's why Armored Core, or what else could it be? It could be, what was that PlayStation 1 game that they put out?
From Software?
Kingsfield.
Yeah.
A new Kingsfield game. That's probably it.
A new Kingsfield game would be crazy. No, but you know what though? Like, my observation for From Software games, at least the Souls games, is that they have a relatively long shelf life. You notice that?
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah, versus a typical JRPG, like they stay fresh longer. So I doubt they're gonna come up with like another like Souls game. We're gonna chew on Elden Ring for a little while still. Yeah, so absolutely. But yeah, what have you played any From Software games, Derek? Like recently?
The most recent one that I played was probably Bloodborne. It's been a long time since I dove in, and that was like the original release of Bloodborne on PS4, right? I mean, I guess it's only on PS4 so far, right?
I don't know. Is it on
and it was
PS5
without the mods. It was without the 60 FPS mods, like and all that stuff that you can do now. So yeah, it's been a really long time since I've been wanting to dig into Elden Ring. I just haven't been able to. There's so many games.
I've signed myself up to play Elden Ring. I did a charity thing, and I said,
"Oh, your mic cut out again. You signed up for
yeah." I said that so I signed myself up to play Elden Ring, right? Because I said that if I raised a certain amount of money, and I believe it was like $1,500, I would play the character that we made that night, and I'll commit to finish the entire game with that character. So we're doing it at some point soon, sometime this year. We'll have to complete Elden Ring with that character that we all made together during the event. So it's gonna be fun. But nonetheless, I've signed up for Elden Ring too.
Jeez.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be fun.
I will need to play Elden Ring at some point. I think when I do play it, it'll probably be on PS5 or something that can actually handle it well. So it might be a little while before I can, since I'm still rocking a 980, but a GTX 980. That is, I'm a few generations behind.
It plays really well. I think you will really enjoy Elden Ring. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of games that I'll enjoy, I'm in the continued interest of giving Baku's voice a break. The Steam summer sales are not just Steam summer sales, but rather the summer sales are on, guys. It is the summer officially, because Nintendo has got a big old super sale going on until the 6th of July right now. PlayStation summer sale also going on through the end of the 6th of July, and the Steam summer sale is going on through the 7th of July, because they go just a little further beyond. So
yes,
they've got so many games on sale right now. Is a great time to get them, especially if you have money. That's a great way to spend it.
Yeah, right.
Baku, have you got any games that you're eyeballing that you're thinking about picking up here?
You know what's funny is so recently I picked up a game from Best Buy, and they wouldn't do free shipping until you hit $35, right?
Yeah.
So and the game was $30 after discount. So I needed $5. I could not find a $5 anything that I wanted to get. So you know what I did?
What's that?
I
Gift
bought
card?
$20 worth of Steam gift card because I knew
Yep.
that I would use it on some things. So now
Mhm.
that there's that Steam sale, I'm just like, okay, well, now is perfect time for me to use that $20 that I spent. I didn't have to spend.
Gotta love it.
So I picked up a couple of things. I picked up some like weird like Japanese indie horror games that aren't JRPGs, but I
Sure.
will be playing them through Spooktober.
You bet.
I picked up a game called Earth Defense Force. Again, not JRPG, but I play a lot of like just weeb games. And Earth Defense Force is one of those like crazy game that could only come in Japan, where you just fight a bunch of like giant like insect alien invading Earth, and it's like that thing is wild and it's multi, right? So I'm
Yeah.
gonna be playing with some friends. Um, but there are a good amount of games that I saw that I already own that are really good, and I kind of want to talk a little about. So, I the Somnium Files, again, the new game that came out.
Mhm.
If you go to Steam, PlayStation, and Nintendo, is only $8 right now. That's single digit for an amazing game. Like
Wow.
everyone who's played it loved it. If you've sat on it, you've been on the sideline, you're not sure if you like this like point and click visual novel kind of thing, just listen. Just do yourself a favor and give us like $8. $8. Okay, it's $8. Just do it. Other games that are kind of on sale, Tales of Arise is on like $30 now. That's pretty good, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Just a lot of RPG, a lot of games.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So check it out, guys. What about you, Derek? Anything that you are kind of waiting on this discount to come?
Oh man, I don't know. I as a physical games collector, like all of these digital sales are kind of like here's some stuff you can get if you want it. I'm like I'm like a horse with blinders on. I'm like I don't see any games. I just what are you talking about? No, but if you are interested in picking up the Trail series, this is
Mhm.
usually a really great time to pick them up. Trails in the Sky and the Crossbell games Zero and Azure are usually on sale pretty cheap. Well, maybe not Azure and not the Crossbell games yet, rather, because those aren't out yet. But the
Mhm.
Sky games, if they're a fantastic place to get started. Those are usually
Yeah.
on sale for like half off at this point. Like you can get them for
Mhm.
like the whole set for like 30, $40 or something.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
but I already have those and I got them super cheap that way. So
I think I gifted a friend SC for $20. Like a little less than $20, like $18. So that was definitely worth, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Just gifted it. So definitely good pick.
Yeah, so I don't know what else I would keep my eyes out for because at this point I feel like I only want to spend money on Steam if it's on games that will never come out
Mhm.
physically on a console of some sort, right? That's still
Mhm.
my big hang up, and and even though like I can tell it's like, oh yeah, $5 for all the RPGs I'll never be able to play is like it's yeah, that's a great deal, right? But the other part of me is like, yeah, but that's fake. Like that's just a digital wallet.
Mhm.
That's I don't know. Like
Look, I'm
it's
pretty sure at
hard.
this point, all the games I own, all the RPGs, like if you stack them up, they're longer than my like remaining lifetime. I'm pretty sure I own enough games
Like
that
if
I
you stacked
don't
up the
have enough
hours,
life to play. Yeah,
dude, how
pretty sure.
we should I wonder if there should make an somebody should make an app for that. They should cross-reference your Steam library, calculate
Mhm.
out the time from like the average how long to beat score, and then just
Mhm.
calculate that up to, and then like compare that to like your age and your average life expectancy for your like
Uh-huh.
geography and
Yeah.
demographics and stuff. And then just be like, you have like this is the amount of hours you have to play every single day in order
Mhm.
to like defeat your backlog. It's like
Right?
it's like a death clock but different, right? It's like a what are they
It's a
it's an RPG death clock. It's a
it's a different kind of depression. Well, there you go. I'm sure we've got at least one programmer in here right now, and I'm sure you're telling,
Oh my
what's a
gosh.
great idea for you to program?
There's if there's any like engineering students who are looking for like a final project idea,
Mhm.
that'd be pretty rad.
Yeah, make it that one.
That
Take all the credits. Don't worry about us.
yeah.
Take all the credits.
Just let me use it. That's all.
Yep. All
Oh man.
right. So here's the last piece of news before we wind down all that fun stuff. And this is great actually. So summer games done quickly. Summer games done quick. Have you heard of that before, Derek? Summer games done
Oh, I've
quick?
I've heard of GDQ in
Yeah.
general, but not SGDQ
Yeah.
specifically.
So this
I've
is
usually heard them referred to as like AGDQ, like awesome games
mhm.
done quick. But
Yep. So, this is the summer games done quick. From the same folks, the video game speedrunning marathon is going to start today, the 26th.
mhm.
It's going to run to July 2nd, and they're all raising money for Doctors Without Borders.
Awesome.
Great charity. Yeah, the event will feature quick runs of all kinds of games this year, with including titles like Elden Ring, Pokemon, and GTA. Links down in the description for the full schedule if you're interested in watching some amazing people doing some amazing speed runs, raising for an amazing cause.
Yeah. I actually did you catch any of that kickoff today?
I did not because I was writing the docket.
Oh, well, I was at a friend's birthday party and he was watching some Lost Guardian.
Oh, nice, nice,
Yeah.
nice.
And I got to see them pet the horse a few times. It was great.
Have how much money have they raised so far?
I have
Did
no
they tell you?
idea. I have no idea.
Okay,
I only
gotcha.
caught the very
Yeah.
beginning, and then it's like, "Oh, we're gonna play Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge," and we beat it. We played it, like, straight through because it was a lot of fun. That game
How
is
many hours did
incredible.
that take to beat that game?
Oh, we were probably playing for, like, 2.5 hours probably.
Yeah, see, it's not that long of a game. Someone came in, it's like, "Oh, people complain it's really short." I was
It's
like,
not
"Yeah, it's a beat 'em up. Like
Yeah.
they're meant to be short."
Yeah, they're not
That's
RPGs. I mean, you can level up your characters, but yeah, it's fun.
yeah, like have you
It's the perfect length to, like, hang out with a buddy and, like, play through for, like, a few hours and, have
yeah,
some laughs.
yeah.
Like, that's what it's designed for. It's not like
Mhm.
yeah,
To play in arcades and eat your quarters, right? It's just come on. Like
exactly.
it's not gonna be a 20-hour thing. Like no one's gonna stand there and just play this game. It's
Oh,
going to be short.
by the way, I think I asked this when you showed me the trailer for it way back when
Mhm.
I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
man, was Paul Robertson involved in the production?" He
Mhm.
was. A
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Paul Robertson was
Interesting.
the concept artist for this one,
Oh,
and I was excited because I saw him in
nice.
the credits, and I was like, "Oh, it's him,
Mhm.
it's him." It's actually a lot of the
Wow.
people from, the original Scott Pilgrim game, so
Oh,
I was
wow.
really excited to see that, yeah.
Well, there you go. That's the little tidbit that I never delve into, but that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Well,
Well,
hope you guys will give that game a shot. I mean, I'm waiting for a good opportunity. I'm kind of waiting for like a inexpensive pickup. Like, so I'm not trying to get full price right now, but I'm waiting for. So far, the review's been amazing. So I'm
the
glad you
music
enjoyed it,
is
man.
great too. I'm
Oh
thinking
yeah.
about picking up the soundtrack.
Okay, so no, someone told me that was a Ghostface Killer, and the Wu Tang Clan made a track for them,
I think so,
and I was
yeah.
like, the Wu Tang Clan made a track for what? And I
Yeah,
listened to it,
and it's
and I'm like,
good.
wow, they
It's
didn't use
good.
any profanity. It sounded just like the '90s. That was crazy good.
I know. I love it. It was so good. Ah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Hmm.
before we wind down, we have to get through some of these super chats, and oh my god, Fluffy Dogs has been going nuts here. Um, so,
No,
Bring Back Fluffy Dogs says, "Is this where I type?" Followed by
this is where you type.
volume enhancement upgrade for fund started. Your move. All right,
Derek, man, you know what? Just mess my audio every.
yeah, I'll keep working on your audio, man. So he also says here, Baku changing hearts and minds one stream at a time.
I tried, man. I tried.
And let's see. He says, "Can I add hoodies to the glorious merch shop? If not, that's okay. But also, here's a down payment for the hyper responsibly hoodie." Okay, well, thank you very much. As for like hoodies, I as of right now, like I feel we should probably start getting some of them produced. The hyper responsibly shirts and stuff are right now very limited runs when we start printing them and stuff. So we're like trying
Mhm.
to sell stuff that like is gonna sell through quickly. But I think I'll reach out to Dana Nash and see if they do hoodies and stuff and see what that would look like maybe. Um,
Now here's the question: do you like zip up hoodies or do you like
Ooh,
just regular hoodie? Because I'm a big fan of zip ups. I hate having
yeah,
to
the pullover.
do that whole yeah. I hate that. I hate that. I
Yeah, I
love
feel that
zip up
too.
hoodies.
I feel that
Yeah.
too.
So
Hmm.
it's thrown out there.
Let's
There you
see.
go. So down payment. Congratulations, man.
Uh, looks like Fluffy Dogs also has funded your reading recovery fund from all of the from all the
Thank you.
articles, and then
Thank you
finally,
for that.
Elden Ring Fund goal achieved. And Fluffy Dogs, thank you so much for your generosity this evening. It has been a pleasure to stream for everybody. If you
Yeah.
liked what you saw, and if you or heard, be sure to
Mhm.
give the video a like, or like the podcast on your platform of choice. And yeah, otherwise, Baku, have you got any final thoughts?
Mm. Yeah, go watch the Summer Games Done Quickly, man. It's a good cause and it's just a win-win. You got the entertainment and they're doing good stuff. It's all good all around. So yeah, when we get and there's one more super chat that's
Jeez.
flew in. Get yourself the happy birthday pull over, Baku pull over. Okay, there you go. You hear the man. He wants to pull over.
All
He
right,
wants to pull over, or they want to pull over.
a
I shouldn't
pullover.
assume
Okay.
genders. What am I doing? But thank you again for your generosity. I appreciate it.
Jeez.
Yes, we shall get the game just for you. Just for you, I'm gonna get the game. Just for you,
Awesome.
I'm gonna get that game. Yeah.
Can't wait to play it with you, man. All right.
All righty.
Take care, everybody, and have a great rest of your week, and hype responsibly.